I got some pretty big news for you guys when it comes to the NIO phone. So this phone is going to be rumored to be around 7,000 RMB with the full price over here. And as you guys may or may not know, they have recently just passed cellular certification here in China, which is really nice, and it's slated to be on sale on Q3. Some of you guys may not know the purpose of this phone, and I'll talk about that later. One thing I want to just discuss with you guys is this thing, it's not yet known if it's going to be just online sales or if it's also going to be shown in one of the many stores that NIO has, which I think they absolutely should, or if the NIO phone is going to be included with the purchase of a car. But I think uh, it shouldn't be because not many people would want to be forced to buy a phone and they might not want it. So I think it might be like just you can buy the phone like how the AR glasses are also optional. If you want to buy it, you spend the money. Same with the phone. If you want it, you spend the money. And some of you guys might not know why NIO's building a phone, and today we're going to answer that question. Well, NIO wanted to build a phone because William Lee felt that well, Apple has, well, the majority of new owners, about like 70%, own an iPhone. And they do not want they do not want Apple to be holding the key to their car. And a lot of functions and everything, you can do it using your mobile phone. So, for example, all the different functions, turning on the AC, navigation, summoning the car, etc. But all of these are limited by the phone, right? There are some features that NIO probably wants to include that the iPhones or Android phones do not support. So, NIO is thinking about making their own phone to include features that they can personalize and have full control over so that they can control the car as much as they want. And in essence, have their own keys in their own pockets. Now, from a shareholder's perspective, I don't think the phone is going to sell that many. The CEO himself also said he doesn't expect the phone to sell a lot. It's not some game changer for the stock. It's more of a first move. It's going to be a first generation product just to get some new owners to buy that phone. And he said he's pretty satisfied if even a small portion of NIO owners buy a NIO phone. So it is one of the first steps. And William Lee said that he continues to see Apple as one of their biggest competitors, which is very interesting to think that Apple is actually NIO's biggest competitor. Because I think he foresees that in the future Apple is going to make a car for sure 100%, and by then, it's going to be neck and neck, and the whole entire Apple ecosystem of how things seamlessly work together, right? For example, I used to have a Google Pixel as my older phone, but then whenever I film stuff and I want to transfer that onto my Mac, it would be a huge pain in the butt. So in essence, last year, September, I was pretty much forced to buy an iPhone if I wanted to smoothen my workflow and save time. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. And also you see with iPods and all that stuff, the integration within the ecosystem is just so good. That's the thing that Apple is really strong at. And what and when you buy an iPhone, there's the there's the Apple Watch app already pre-installed, which sort of hints at you like maybe you should buy an Apple Watch. So when the Apple Car gets released, the phone is going to have so many features for the car itself and the ecosystem, the connection between the phone and the car, that the the iPhone users will be swayed to buy a car. And what we're seeing right now is even with Huawei's phone, and Huawei's phone, they got sanctioned a lot, but they're running Harmony OS right now, their own operating system, and the some of the cars, Ito M7, M5, you can get the EV versions of that as well. Those cars also have the Harmony OS, and basically the only reason to buy that car is because of the OS integration between the phone and the car. It's just magical. So you see, these companies are already doing this, so it is a natural progression for NIO to also do this as well, to have a phone integration, their own phone integration with the car. And that makes sense for NIO as a longevity perspective. And in the future, NIO definitely wants to make their own ecosystem. And in essence, I think NIO might become the Apple of China. Because, with the stuff they're building and headphones and everything, watches, right? Phones, not just cars. So, in essence, they're trying to be Apple. Are they going too fast, stepping too far ahead, when they should be just focusing on cars? Some of you guys may think so. Yes, they should be focusing more on cars to get profitable before spending too much money on other stuff, potentially making the road more treacherous. But I think this is the right step to go forward, and in the future, it is very possible that NIO becomes the next Apple. Very possible, with the whole entire ecosystem. And also, I think if NIO succeeds, which I think they probably should succeed, they probably would succeed, with NIO's ecosystem of NIO's cafe, NIO houses, all that stuff, NIO service centers, and then also NIO's event and NIO's community. I think it's just even better than what Apple has to offer right now. Because if you see Apple, they have their own community and stuff, but it's not that it's not that tightly packed. That's how I should put it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and that's the first step forward. I think just like when the first iPhone launched, people liked it, but it was not the dominant thing. And I think if NIO can make a good phone and a decent phone, and by the way, the specs of this phone, it's just gonna be like pretty good, and that's it, just their standard phone. So I think if they can make it pretty good, then sure, I think a lot of people will pull the trigger and buy that phone, hop onto the ecosystem. And what's really interesting is I think maybe we'll see some buyers of NIO phones that aren't even NIO owners, that will potentially be NIO owners in the future. So that's something that I really look forward to. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. NIO phone is going forward, and soon I think we're gonna see a slew of other products in NIO's ecosystem to further expand NIO's ecosystem. That's gonna be very good. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.